So for more on the latest developments, it's a pleasure to welcome to studio legal expert and political analyst Daniel Pomerantz, the CEO of Reality Check. Daniel, thank you so much for being here. So Donald Trump's opposition to the ICC is well documented. He has taken action before, but now the concern is the vulnerability of American soldiers in different parts of the world, including presumably Venezuela and Afghanistan. Talk to us about the concerns through the eyes of the Trump administration right now.
Yeah, well, it's not the Trump administration that's against the ICC. It's America. In 2002, America has passed a law, a bipartisan law called the American Service Members Protection Act. What that said was that if the ICC goes after any American service member or any American ally, that the United States has an obligation to protect them and defend them up to and including military force, even if it meant sending an army to The Hague. That's what the United States is supposed to do. And when the ICC issued those arrest warrants against Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, the House of Representatives passed a bill for sanctions, but President Biden indicated he would probably veto it, so it never got to his desk, although he did condemn the court. So what Trump is doing here is exactly in line with what has been American policy for over 20 years. Why? Because the court is a political body. It's not a court in the sense of law. It's a political body that is now going after countries that aren't even a part of the treaty, the Rome Statute, which formed the court. You see, international law, it's not law in the way you and I think of it. It's countries sign treaties and agreements and agree to abide by them. Here we have a situation where a country that never signed this agreement is facing the possibility that its soldiers might get arrested and imprisoned for an agreement that the United States isn't even a part of. And that includes claims against soldiers who fought in Venezuela, against drug dealers, and soldiers who fought in Afghanistan. And there may even be other claims that we're not hearing about yet publicly. But something's changed recently that has gotten the United States' attention and made them feel like this is more urgent than it was in the past.
So many questions about jurisdiction and about motive here. Why is the European Union so concerned watching these developments as we speak?
You know, the European Union said that it's unacceptable to threaten the court. This isn't a court, first of all, and it's not a threat. It's a statement that you can't come after a party that isn't a member of this statute. And, you know, Lindsey Graham, may he rest in peace, said, if the court's going after Israel, America's next. And I would say to the European leaders right now, the court's going after America, Europe is next. And it may be this court, or it may be some other treaty that Europe isn't even a part of. But someone will pull them in and say, this treaty, which we agreed that has nothing to do with you, we're going to pull you in and arrest you for it. The important principle here is that when you can start going after countries for treaties that they're not even a part of, every country in the world is relevant and vulnerable. And the European leaders would be well served to keep that in mind and to protect themselves now before it's too late. So
what kind of measures or sanctions realistically can be taken in a case like this?
Well, already the Trump administration has brought specific sanctions, first-party primary sanctions. That means that members of the court and the court itself can't hold bank accounts in the United States. They may not be able to enter the United States, things like that. But that doesn't matter too much because if you're sitting in Europe, if you're European anyway, maybe you don't really need to function in the United States. The next step is bringing a variety of kinds of secondary sanctions. That means that anybody who does business with a member of the court or with the court itself may not be able to do business with the United States of America. Now, that's a big deal because when Lloyd's of London or Citibank thinks, well, do I want to do business with Kareem Khan, the prosecutor accused of sexual harassment with his bank account that has maybe a few $100,000? Or do I want to do business with the entire United States of America? It's not a hard choice. And once you start moving into those secondary kinds of sanctions, and there are a variety of different kinds, that's when you can really start cutting off the court from any access to funding.
Fascinating developments. We so appreciate you breaking it all down for us. No doubt we will be watching and you will come back to explain what happens down the line.
My
Daniel
pleasure.
Pomerantz, thank you as always for being here in studio.